Okay, welcome back. Apparently niggas is confused about this draft shit. So I really want to take people through like an actual explanation of what the fuck they mean by like the draft for December that's coming like at the end of this year, because everybody think that niggas is just gonna be getting drafted, like they just gonna be pulling people up, like anybody and everybody just come along. It's World War 57 and some shit. No, that's not how it's gonna go. So we finna let some people speak on it.
I guess I hadn't understood this or maybe appreciated it, Holly, but most men between the ages of 18 and 25 are already required to register with the Selective Service. But now, thanks to the 2026 National Defense Authorization Act, they don't register. It's going to be done for them.
You know, and in some ways, I actually thought that was the case already. This does not mean we have reinstated the draft. It means that we are making sure that the people who are already supposed to register are registering.
Right. So I guess I didn't appreciate that. But yeah, men ages 18 to 25 required to register with the Selective Service, meaning that they could be, if
they could be called up.
Situation. Right.
I think, that was part of the NDAA that was passed at the end of December or in December. It was, so NDAA is the National Defense Authorization Act. So they just did this, I think, as a way to streamline. So again, already required to do so, but not everybody does it. So the save money part is it's just, well, I don't know, this might be concerning, but it's integrated with federal data sources. So it's under review, though. It's a rule and it's under review.
Right. Well, so the Selective Service System, a government agency that maintains a database for men to be called up to serve in the case of a national emergency, submitted this proposal to the Office of Information and Regulatory Affairs on March 30th, according to the office's website. So, like you said, it's in part to save money and to maybe streamline the process a little bit.
So
one thing about it is, one, we don't know if it's gonna get that bad or if at any point in time it's going to ever get that bad to where we need to draft niggas. And two, another thing is, at the end of the day, the main reason they trying to do this is to get people to register. They not trying to get motherfuckers to just come over. They trying to get you to register. Not saying that you feel me, but that don't mean you automatically going. They just registering you. Three, like I said, I don't believe it's gonna ever get that deep. Like, it's just a low registration as of lately, and it's like nobody really want to be in the army, but you got all these niggas out here shooting each other. So we're gonna get back into this.
States hasn't had a draft since the Vietnam War. In fact, that's how my dad became part of the military. Military service has been voluntary since 1973, but former President Jimmy Carter in 1980 reinstated the Selective Service. So in the event of a national emergency, they could use it to call people up.
Yeah, I remember. They haven't had a draft since 73, which was perfect timing for me because I entered that age in 75, I think. And so by the time Jimmy Carter did his thing in 1980, I remember that. I remember a group of us getting together going,
this is not good.
What does this mean for us? We all sat down and said, okay, they're reinstating the Selective Service. But it didn't mean we're preparing for war. It just meant, hey, we need your information.
It's interesting to me that there are people who are saying, is the draft going to be is it going to be activated, I guess is the way to say it. Are we going to call people up? And if you remember, White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt was asked that point blank in March. Is a draft, are you going to institute the draft? Are you going to call people up not on a voluntary basis? And she said, it's not the plan right now, but the president keeps his options on the table. So that doesn't, create a lot of confidence necessarily. But right now, there's no mandatory draft, but there is mandatory registration.
Right. So my son's in the military. We've talked about it before. He's a colonel in the United States Air Force. And right now, it seems that the branches of the military are all staffed and perhaps sufficiently staffed by way of voluntary service, by people wanting to engage and be involved in the military. So we haven't needed a draft because our military is robust, let's face it, because of people looking for career options, GI Bill, things like that can help them, especially young men and women. But if it ever got to the point where we didn't have enough naval officers, we didn't have enough Army people, we would say, hey, we need to get the draft going again.
I don't think it's going to get that fucking bad, man. I really don't believe it's going to get that bad. I really don't think that this war is even deep enough for all of that. It might get deep, but it might not. I don't believe it's going to get deep enough for us to be getting drafted and picked up, or them to just be pulling us up like that. This is more so a state of emergency thing. I really wish people would stop spreading false information, because I was seeing a bunch of blogs and stuff post this story about getting drafted and all of that, but it's like, bro, that's not what they saying, nor is that what they're doing. And yeah, Trump ain't really giving nobody any confidence in the fact that maybe he might not call nobody, but I don't think it's gonna get that serious, or that it is that serious. I don't believe he's doing this for that reason or purpose. I don't believe that's the reason that this is going on. And I don't believe he's the one who's doing this, actually. Somebody else, they said, was doing this. I actually said it in the beginning of the video. But anyway, the main thing is this. People got to stop panicking and start actually going and doing research and reading and actually understanding what's going on, because the world is changing every day. Laws are changing every day. A lot of things are happening at real time. And instead of people paying attention to what's really going on, they get on social media and they get on YouTube and they start just seeing anything and everything. And you got some people who are getting misinformed. You got some people getting the right information. But it's all about what you're doing to get that information. Because if you ain't actually doing proper research to look into what you're doing and look into what you're saying and speaking on, then it's no reason for you to even be talking on this shit. That's why I don't understand why a lot of people keep trying to stir up all this extra ass emotion. Because it's like, you have everybody
understand what worth is. These niggas lurking, observing, trying to close your curtains. These hoes be perking. OG told me, but watch your back. Hey, these niggas down to attack. Gotta know your worth is. Understand what worth is. These niggas is lurking.